One of the challenges we faced when producing our recent sci-fi concept film, Invisus, was finding the right location. We wanted somewhere that would create a really bleak atmospheric look that would suit an alien world. We also needed to make sure we could film somewhere that would fit within our budget, which for this film was approximately £300, and we knew most of that would be going on the costume and the prop. The film was actually conceived with a specific location in mind, a sheer cliffed quarry about 30 minutes drive away from where we live. So while we were putting together our treatment, we decided to go and visit for a brief recce. We really liked this location, however it was somewhat limited in that we could only really shoot facing one way, as there was no cliff wall on the other side of the quarry. While we were there, a local informed us that the quarry was owned by a nearby estate. This was incredibly useful as there was no information online about ownership of the quarry. It made it very difficult for us to find any contact details for the landowners, especially as the estate in question also had no online presence. We were eventually able to track down a deed buried on our county council's website, which made reference to a local surveyor. We emailed the surveyor, who confirmed that they were the point of contact for the landowners. Unfortunately, the communication was incredibly poor. They would never answer the phone number listed on their website, and we would often wait days for replies to emails, all of which were usually one-word responses. They didn't seem to grasp the scale of our project either, and were asking for huge sums of money because a major Hollywood production had recently filmed on some of their land. It was only when we said that we lived locally that they eased up. At that point, however, communication broke down entirely. We sent over provisional shoot dates and risk assessments and requested access to the site as well as the car parking area and had no response whatsoever. We needed another, more reliable location, so what we decided to do was use the location database on the Northern Film and Media site and search for quarries. We selected a handful that were reasonably local to us and sent a request for more information. From that, we were given a contact with the county council. The communication with the council was surprisingly much better than the privately owned site. They arranged to have a pre-shoot recce, and so we were able to plan in advance where exactly we would film everything. The site was much larger than the earlier site we scouted, and although there wasn't an interesting sheer cliff wall, there were many other features which made it perfectly suited to our film. The only caveat to filming here was that we needed to arrange public liability insurance. For registered companies this can be quite a cheap affair, but as individuals, temporary cover proved to be much more expensive. We found a provider, Performance Insurance, which specialises in film and media temporary cover. We were able to get PLI cover for a week for just over £90, which is by no means a small amount of money for a low-budget production like this, but with it we were able to get permission from the council to film there. In the spirit of sharing all our experience, this unfortunately wasn't the end of the matter. On the Friday night before the shoot at 9 PM, somebody from the council emailed us a contract making reference to a location fee of £300. At this point we had already received permission to film and had signed release forms on the Wednesday of that week, none of which made any reference to a location fee. We were scheduled to film on the Monday morning, and we don't tend to check our emails over the weekend, so we didn't see this contract until the Tuesday, one day after we'd filmed. However, we were given written consent to film prior to the contract being sent, and we were let onto the site on Monday without anybody mentioning it, so we contested the location fee. Eventually they let up, but it was an unnecessary waste of our energy, and actually quite intimidating as we're just a small group of independent filmmakers, and suddenly the council was trying to strong-arm us out of money. To make matters even worse, the surveyor from the original location emailed us after that week, demanding we pay a location fee of £85 for a site we didn't even use because he wouldn't acknowledge any of our other requests for information. Thankfully he let up pretty quickly after realising we hadn't actually filmed there. Unfortunately that drama with location fees soured what was otherwise a really good experience finding places to film with the council. The people from Northern Film and Media, however, were incredibly helpful, and although they're region specific, most places in the UK have similar screen agencies with location databases, so I would strongly recommend using them if you're looking for particular locations. In the end, we were able to get a really visually interesting location that suited the film perfectly, but certainly took a lot of hard work and research to secure it, and even then, we had to be ready to face problems with the site contacts as they arose. I hope you've learned something from our experience finding locations, and if you've enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more.